You might remember the headstones from the 90s, the Canadian rocker Hugh Dillon. Well, he's out with a fresh, hot show, and we're about to talk to him. Welcome back to Get Connected. I'm your host, Con Jackson. We're coming to you from Milan, but since the series has started with the show Flashpoint, we're connecting back to the States with Hugh right now to find out more about the premiere. Welcome back to Get Connected, Hugh.
Hey, Con, how are you?
Well, I'm certainly doing great. We're here in Milan, absolutely spectacular. You know the food is good. But let's turn our attention to your career. I know you were a rocker in Canada, but did you ever think when you were a lead singer you would someday become a TV star?
I did not. I did not. I didn't think I'd make it out of my 30s, to tell you the truth.
Well, Hugh, what was the catalyst that changed you from a singing career, which you were doing awesome at, and shifting over to acting?
It was it took a few years. I started acting a little bit while I was in the band, and you know, I'd been given a few opportunities with a director named Bruce McDonald, who, you know, we got this movie called Hardcore Logo to Quentin Tarantino, and he bought it, and you know, and then I'd gone back and I played in the Headstones for a few years, and then I got another opportunity to be in a movie called here in New York called Down to the Bone with Vera Farmiga. And that kind of did well, got to Sundance, and then I'd gone back to playing in the band. And then, you know, we'd released 5 or 6 records, and it was just time to pack it in, you know, lifestyle change, just getting too old to party every single night, to tell you the truth.
Well, Hugh, you're certainly doing great, but I'm curious, when you look at all the great songs you had with the Headstones, is there one song in particular that would act as your theme song of life?
That's a great question, man. Something Stands for Nothing's a pretty good song. It's got a harmonica, and I think we open our shows with that song. I love that song, actually.
All right, Hugh, let's turn to the hit show, Flashpoint. You must feel so good having such a time selection right there in prime time.
Yeah, it's exceptional. I mean, we couldn't be happier. The casts here in New York today promoting it, and it's exciting to have it be embraced so fully.
You know, Hugh, what was it about this character that you were like, you know what, I can bring this guy to life like no other?
You know, it's funny you say that. And that pilot, that first script was super important because I read it and I immediately knew this is going to do well. And it's exciting because I read a lot of books and I read scripts, and it just cut through everything. And I think it's because it was based on reality. Really, it's that. It's, you know, for the amount of kind of action and the guns and the things that this show does with these characters, it's based on the fact that these elite cops are people. And that spoke to me because it doesn't matter what mask you present or what job you have, it's who you are. And I just thought it was just honest, you know, and not trying to be anything it wasn't, and it just I just had a great feeling about it. It's like I remember buying the Nirvana album before it was popular and hearing "Smells Like Teen Spirit" and thinking, man, that is an exception. This record's going to go, you know.
Well, Hugh, that's certainly awesome that you had that intuition, but I'm just curious, how did you learn to handle the guns so well in all those action scenes?
That is due to the real cops who took the time and the patience to train me. I mean, really, it's you know, you bring some of your own experiences to it, and you know, you're lucky if you get cast mates that you have chemistry with, and so we've been lucky in all that stuff. But the technical stuff, there's a cop named Jim Bremner who taught me everything, who was one of those patient dudes who just understands that, you know, this is important to you and doesn't talk down to you or treat you like an actor or whatever else. He trains you like you are going to be police, and that made all the difference in the world because it helps you find the character. Because, you know, he was one of those cops who I would talk to him about police work, and he would talk to me about you know, books and movies and music. You know, this guy Jimmy Bremner loved music, and I happen to be a musician, and so we had a lot in common, and we just kind of you know, helped each other out.
Well, Hugh, we're certainly glad that this season of Flashpoint is now upon us. Congratulations on the series, and more importantly, brother, rock on.
Thank you.
Hugh Dillon, what a classy guy. I totally knew that you would love meeting him. But we're now going to return back to Italy. We're here in Milan We're going to learn a little bit more about Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, which is based here. Did you know Milan is the second largest city? And did you know that Prada, Gucci, Armani, Valentino, and Versace, all the fashion houses, are world headquartered here? We're going to find out about fall fashion next. Thank you so much for watching. Are you tired of negative news? We are.
And that's why we're creating a movement.
By keeping it real.
With what you need to know.
It's more than what's happening.
It's bringing hope back to our lives.
So go to contv.com and join our movement.